Got what you need.
With him, it's all fun and games.
What more could you ask for?
Afternoons with Zwelly on 947. Wake up with a bang.
Hey, wake up!
Anele and the club.
On 947.
Right now, we always have this conversation. I just don't think we've had it on air, but it's like a general, twice a year conversation that we'll have with friends as the team. And I ask is, can leadership be taught?
Yeah, if you are growing up, does it matter the specific direction you're getting and then you end up president?
Also because the phrase, he's a born leader, that gets thrown around a lot. So this is what I want to know, is that if somebody then isn't a born leader, then is that something that could teach them?
Yeah, and I think this is specifically parents and kids, right? So look at your kids, because you might think, not a born leader, this one. But then after like 3 years at school, born leader.
And also, what I find is the people who are really good at like identifying, even if it's not showing that you're a leader, like great at identifying it, and then they give you tasks so that you can like kind of grow into the role, is sporting coaches.
Yeah.
It's so good. Sometimes they're like, oh no, we're making Tyler captain. And everyone's like, why is Tyler captain? And the coach saw something, more like maybe empathy in them. Because also people think that a leader is the loudest one, the most brute one, the one that talks the most and everything. Sometimes a leader is the one that can be able to identify talents in other people. And like they step back and allow that talent to shine. Now that person would never be regarded as a born leader. But are they a leader? Yes.
So I think you're born with it.
Okay.
But what happens is, for some people, you need someone to help you work on it. So sometimes, maybe you're a born leader, but you've got you're impatient. So we need to work on the impatience so that you become a better leader. Or you speaking out more because you actually have these ideas and whatever, an ability to rally people, but you've not tapped into it.
To Frankie's point there, like he said, you could look at your kid and be like, this one isn't. But your child at home and your child at school is two completely different children. So sometimes you're like, no, my child's shy. And then you get a letter saying, sorry, your child's the lead in the school play, which means that they did something, right? They've got confidence. I think some children are born leaders, and then some children need to be nurtured out of them. And with the right school or the right teacher, you just need somebody or a parent to say something that just triggers in their head that goes, I can do this. It's even as easy as in the workplace. If you are like you're just working along and then your manager comes to you and says, hey, the company's going to put you in management training. Now you're like, hang on, I'm a leader. Like I can lead a team. This is amazing. You get what I'm saying?
And then suddenly, all of a sudden you start stepping up to it because somebody said something to you.
And then something clicks in your brain and it changes your way of thinking. And now you're like, hold on, you'll start speaking differently, acting differently because now somebody believes you're a leader.
011-8838-947. This is a wonderful discussion that we're having on a Monday morning, especially when you've got the kids in the car. Maybe they've got questions around their leadership skills. This is a conversation that could happen between you two. On the way, we've got Mr. Walter Essex-Clark. Whoa, now that's a name.
Fancy name. Yeah.
He was the headmaster at Northcliff High.
For many, many years, right? And I mean, this is the thing, when you need to speak to a teacher like that, who's seen so many kids grow up and so many kids become leaders in different ways.
So that's what we want to ask him as well. The question here is, can leadership be taught? And let's say you are a leader. How did it happen? Were you the born leader, or did somebody have to hone it, nurture it, grow it, watch it? Send us a voice note as well, 084-0000-947. Esty, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Esty?
How is everybody today?
Good, and you, Esty.
Everybody.
Good.
We good on this side? Good on that side?
Absolutely. It's a Monday morning, the sun is shining, and it's a new day.
And you didn't bite yourself when you said absolutely. Okay. So, talk to us. Can leadership be taught?
I think it's both. And I think if you are born with the ability to be a leader, you can be molded into becoming the best leader possible.
But then how would somebody identify it? Because I like that. Now you mold it. Like, how would...
If you look at... sorry, Nelly, I'm interrupting you. My daughter is turning 18 this year. And she is... If you had to look at her or me too, you would think, wow, she's an introvert. Because she really is. She's not loud. She hides in her room. She reads. She does makeup. Yet she wanted to be an actress. So she lives in the UK with my parents to go to a drama school. And when she's on stage, she is probably the loudest, most powerful person you will actually come across.
That's amazing.
And she takes control of the people under her, the younger kids. She was in this one production in Edinburgh for the Dolphin Academy, something like that. I can't remember the details. And she played the stepmother. And she was so loud, but she actually at the same time took the kids under her into her to help them, to make sure, to nurture them, to make sure they were okay. And she's brilliant at makeup. So when she goes to cosplay, she's out there. She's an individual, unique person, but yet when she is at home or when she's with family or anybody else, she's very quiet, very reserved, very alone kind of thing.
Because I want to go as far as to say that, there's... Because leaders are expected to talk every now and then. So immediately the reason people gravitate towards people who are extroverts and, public speakers when they're identifying leaders is because you know that as a leader, sooner or later you're going to have to talk.
You have to get up on stage.
But I want to go as far as to say that I feel that leadership sometimes can't be taught, but I can teach you how to public speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
if you are identifying somebody who's like quiet and who presents as shy, but you can see that they got great leadership skills, that's the person I would go for, and then just take them to the voice clinic.
Yeah, because you are absolutely right. Like a lot of people have fear for public speaking, but you can overcome that fear and you can practice it and you can work at it.
I think being a leader, you're born with it. You should be born a leader. I don't think you should go and study being a leadership. You can go to get some skills, knowledge, but being a leader, you're born with it.
5 months ago, I hired a manager. Well, someone. I thought someone, I'm just going to put them in a normal position. I spent 2 weeks with them and I saw it in them. Mind you, this person is only 20 years old. The rest are 35, 36, 28.
Leadership is a quality that does not wait for a title. It is something that a person is born with and can be visible even before someone is given the title to say you're a team leader or manager or something.
So deep at 6:27 in the morning. Very deep. Let's see what Mr. Walter Essex-Clark feels, a former headmaster of Northcliff High School. Good morning, Mr. Essex-Clark. Welcome to Anele in the Club.
Good morning, Nella. Nice to be here.
Yeah, that's a manner. That's a manner.
It must be quite a tough thing for the whole school to say Essex. Good morning, Mr. Essex-Clark.
No, this is a high school. You don't get a lot of that.
No.
Primary school. They'll just say, good morning, sir, and they'll move on.
And then move on with their lives. Okay, then you're the perfect person to speak to about this. How long were you in the education field?
Look, I've been the principal in Northcliff for 22 years.
Okay, that's a stint.
Education, 35, nearly 40 years. Getting me with my maths here.
No, but it's fine because it means that you've worked with kids a lot. And our question to you this morning, and then you can give us your answer, and then you can kind of just like break it down why you feel like this. Can leadership be taught?
I think there is certainly an aspect that can be taught, but your previous callers have really hit it on the nail. I think the most important thing, it is a combination in my mind of your personal traits and your lived experience with people. So what you're looking for in a leader is a good mix of charisma, enthusiasm, and empathy. I think the best leaders and teachers and counselors or prefects or whatever you call them are compassionate, and they generally have a bit of an affinity for people. They love the people that they lead. So the most effective ones. So they get a lot of personal fulfillment, and I see this in my good teachers and those good students that succeed in life as leaders. They become very personally fulfilled when they see their people succeed. It might be the captain of a team, or might be the captain of debating, or whatever it is. They have this sense of team. They have this affinity for the people that they lead. So I think it's not about, they don't see it so much about their own achievements or their own status, but they feel a lot more enthused when the people that they're leading achieve. So it's a sort of a collective, they have more of a collective vision, especially as they get older, they see themselves as leading a team. And that team is bigger than themselves. And as long as they get that idea, it's not all about them, it's about the team. Yes, they're going to get some accolades, obviously, as a leader. But it's about establishing a collective vision. And when you do that, you inspire people to follow you.
So, Mr. Essex-Clark,
and I think within that, they can be quite decisive. You know, they can decide that this collective vision is what's leading the group. And sometimes you've got to make these decisive decisions that might not be pleasant, but it works for the whole. So you're working for the majority of the team, the group. I mean, it's such a diverse thing.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you. Mr. Essex-Clark, I have to interrupt you because we have to go, but I've got one question for you before we go. Let's say you're faced with two people and they neck to neck, tie, like toe to toe here.
Yes.
And one of them, has to become the head girl of the school, and then the other one is going to be the deputy. What's going to flip the coin for you?
Yeah.
In either direction.
Okay, I'm going to say I need somebody who the kids are going to respect, who the kids absolutely adore. And it's not so much about popularity; it's more to do with what kind of charisma, what kind of empathy,
look up to them. Yeah.
What do they look up to, and don't feel that because they're children they don't know. They have a sense of what good leadership is. And the popular factor does exist. I'll give you that. But they're looking for somebody they feel an affinity towards. And then they feel the same with regards to the leader themselves. So the leader shows that they care about people, like people,
right,
have an understanding, have a good sense of humor, really appreciate other people, and that is what they're drawn towards.
Interesting.
Love it.
So I'll choose the one with the people skills.
Thank you, so the one with the people skills. Mr. Walter Essex-Clark, former headmaster of Northcliff High School, on the way. One more of your voice note, 084-000947. On the way, I'll let you know, like when I was in high school, because Mr. Clark's just sparked a flame in me, and I remember this. When I was in high school, why my favorite head boy was my favorite head boy.
Okay.
And it's actually exactly what he's just said. And it just clicked to me like, yeah, man, he's right.
I believe that leadership can be taught. However, not everybody is teachable.
Some people are just born with it, and some people just need to really practice it.
I think leadership is something that you are born with, to be honest, because it takes courage, it takes a certain level of resilience to be a leader. And it takes a person who's got a certain level of fortitude.
You see, I don't like that we just make statements and then we don't substantiate them. Some people are born with it. Some people, they have to practice it. How?
How do you practice it?
Yeah, how do you make sure that somebody that you have identified as a leader practices it? I need like the practical ways. So my thing is, to what Mr. Essex-Clark was saying, if you just joined us, we had a headmaster on here. I was a headmaster at Northcliff High for 22 years, and we're asking him the same question. What I asked him was, if you've got candidates that are toe-to-toe, same everything, skill set, all of that, what is the one trait in them that tips the favor in their side if you have to, appoint a head boy and a head girl? And he said charisma, empathy, charm, and, just being able to sway people.
Yeah.
My favorite head boy when I was in high school, his name was Robert Cliff.
Right.
Surprise, surprise, Gareth Cliff's brother.
Okay.
And the reason I was like, that's the best head boy we've ever heard is because I watched him talk my mom down.
Oh, calm her down.
Because obviously, my mom was like me, guys. Like, the same thing. We are ready and feisty, ready to... And I think she was, sitting in the wrong place, but they hadn't told the parents where to sit. So my mom was like, I'm going to sit here, I'm not going to move. And all the other parents obviously we're in the wrong place, we're moving. My mom was like, no, they didn't tell us where to sit. I'm sitting here and I'm not moving. And I'm sitting there and as this man is walking to my mom, I'm like, oh,
buddy.
He doesn't know what's happening. Dude, 2 minutes later, my mom is laughing. And she's slapping him on the shoulder and he's carrying her bag and he's moving her to where she must sit. And I said, aha,
that's
there now.
Boy.
The ability to persuade people to do what you want is what a leader is. And if you can identify that in somebody, that's what you need to hone. Coach Smitty, good morning.
Yeah, morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. How are you?
No, good. I phoned in because I used to serve in the military. I was an officer in the Navy. I think Anelia will remember me from when she was still with Anelia and Grant.
Oh, really? In the Navy, we will sail the 7 seas.
Yeah, and you said I must be good looking because I joined the Navy.
Because the Navy only has hot men, guys. Come on. That's
true.
That's the period. That, and you must be able to swim. So what do you think about leadership, Coach Smitty?
No, I think everybody's born a leader. Everybody is born with the skill to lead other people. It's whether you are a constructive leader or a destructive leader. Now, the way we did it in the military, we did a lot. You do like a whole year's worth of training when you are selected to be an officer. And in there, they do a whole lot of like electrobond work. They do leadership, like laissez-faire, what kind of leader you are. And you figure out what kind of leader you are naturally, and then what you're missing in order to develop as a good leader.
Those skills, the little skills that you're missing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's not a short thing. It takes time to learn because, again, like that principal said, people skills is very important.
Yeah.
Now, your constructive leaders are the guys that lead from the back. They're the guys, not from the back, from the front. They're the guys who, like they put themselves, they put their bodies first in order for their team to survive. You know. And they lead as a good example, whereas destructive leaders are the guys that, they're there for the show. They're there to make themselves famous.
Yeah, the heckle from the back. Because you get the guys who are very popular, yeah.
And those are the guys, unfortunately, the guys who get other people, in trouble or worse, especially when you're serving in the military. The worst thing could happen by a leader who wants to make a name for himself. So, yeah. Definitely everybody's born with it, but not everybody has Maybelline. So, yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Coach Smitty, ex-naval officer in the Defense Force, and he says that it all comes down to whether you want to be a constructive leader or a destructive one.
Say goodbye now. Back to making your morning.
Anele and the club.
I love this show. On 947.
Got what you need.
With him, it's all fun and games.
What more could you ask for?
Afternoons with Zwelly. On 947.